Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the June edition of Coffee with Cathy. We sorry to miss out last month, but everybody was so busy, and I want to get us going again with Coffee with Cathy and with my special guests, Angela Plowhead from the Marion Soil and Water Conservation District, Diane Watson from the Chemeketa Community College Board of Education, Betty Hart from the Kaiser Fire District Board of Directors, and Ramiro Navarro from the Chariots Board of Directors. For those of you who haven't seen the program before, what we do is we are all elected serving in governments that impact and serve the people of Kaiser. So rather than all doing this separately, the Coffee with Cathy program was born out of a necessity during COVID, and it's kept going because it's been a great way for you, the people in our community, to be able to connect with the governments that cover services that's for our community. So right now, I'm going to pause for a second. So what I'd like to do right now is give you a little update about what's happening in Kaiser. As everybody knows, Kaiser is a hopping place. We are always busy with activities, with work that we're getting done, and this month is no exception. So I'm going to start off with what's happening next week on Tuesday. We have Public Works Day. That's going to be down at Kaiser Rapids Park. It's going to be from 10 to 2. We're going to have our Public Works Department, but we'll also have some of our construction partners down there. It's a lot of fun for the whole family. We'll have all sorts of great information. And if the folks want to see construction in action, just a little bit north of the big toy, you can see the big machines putting in the turf soccer fields. 2 turf soccer fields are under construction right now. They will be completed by the end of the summer and ready for use. These are a huge investment on the part of Marion County, which granted $2 million of ARPA funds to the city of Kaiser to build these fields, which have been very much needed. Anybody who's had a family member playing soccer or another field sport knows that there is a lack of facility in our region. Another turf field is going to construction in East Salem that will add to the inventory of spaces for outdoor recreation and competitive play. So we are very excited to add this to our region, to the city of Kaiser, for our youth and adults to be able to play on the turf field. So come down to Kaiser Public Works Day. You can meet our Public Works staff and see these fields under construction at Kaiser Rapids Park. But is that all we're building? Oh no, we are also building not 1, not 2, but 6 pickleball courts. You heard it, pickleball is coming to Kaiser in a big way. Thanks to our parks fee, we are able to then use our system development charges to build new things for the people of Kaiser. These fees are only, they have to have a match. Our fee provides that match. So we can bring new things like turf field and pickleball to the people of Kaiser for outdoor recreation. So come on down for Public Works Day, or Dia de Obras Públicas, es el martes 18 en junio. And here's a picture from last year. You can see some of the big machines that are out there. And our young people, I know my granddaughter now calls Kaiser Rapids Park the machine park because she saw the big machines out there. So we go to the big toy, but she calls it the machine park. So here's some more information. There's going to be a map and all sorts of information on the City of Kaiser Facebook page. But later that day, there's more. Trashy Tuesday for 2024 gets underway. This is on the 3rd Tuesday of each month, starting at 5:30 at a park near you. On this coming Tuesday, the 18th, we will meet at Sunset Park, which is in West Kaiser, and we will do some cleanup along the riverbank and at the park. It's a lot of fun. It's fun for the whole family to come down and help make our parks beautiful, and to learn about care for the habitat that we have in parks in Kaiser. We have 4 events scheduled. That'd be June, July, August, September on those third Tuesdays, and a bonus day at Volcano Stadium on October 1st. So we hope to see you out at Trashy Tuesday this coming Tuesday afternoon. Also, our Public Works Environmental and Technical Division is working on the public education plan for the Kaiser community. So they also do the Trashy Tuesdays and other events, but they are working to help us expand even more in understanding our waterways, our parks, and the natural habitat that we have in our 19 parks in Kaiser. One of the parks that's getting a big facelift will be Claggett Creek Park. So the apartments that have gone to construction, you see some concrete paths coming down toward the lower area. The lower area belongs to the city of Kaiser, and that will undergo habitat restoration, having been used for pasture land for beef cattle for many, many years. And on top of that will be a boardwalk where people can walk from Shamawa to Dearborn on a raised platform and be able to enjoy nature and also have a safe pedestrian space to go between those two very busy streets. So that is a project coming summer of 25. Splash Pad opens today. Very excited to have the splash pad at the Kaiser Civic Center Park opening. Chalmers Jones Park is the park just south of the Civic Center buildings, and then the skate park, the Carlson Skate Park, is right next door. So come out for some family fun. The splash pad will be open Wednesdays through Sundays on days that the forecast is for 75 or higher. And sometimes we are able to open on additional days when we have some higher temperatures forecast and our city staff is able to be down there. The splash pads are operated like a swimming pool. If you're wondering why we can't just flip the switch, the water has to be sanitized and the pumps have to be maintained. So this is something that requires monitoring from city staff. But what a great investment in having this available for our whole families to enjoy. So there's the information right there. Mid-June through Labor Day, noon to 7 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. I want to give a big shout out to Grayton Woodard. He served as our youth counselor for this school year. He is graduated from McNary High School, and this is presenting him with a proclamation and thanks for his service as our youth counselor for this school year. We're looking forward to our next youth liaison beginning in September. Interviews are underway. If you have a high school junior or senior who is interested in being the youth counselor, or any high schooler grades 9 through 12 who would like to be a youth liaison for a Kaiser City committee, have them go to the website kaiser.org and fill out the application to be a youth liaison or a youth city councilor. It's a fantastic program. We learn a lot from our youth liaisons and youth counselors, and they tell us that they learn a lot about how to get involved in their own local government. One of our wonderful representatives and a voting member of the Community Engagement and Diversity Committee is Nevaeh Music. She was my appointee 3 years ago when she was a sophomore at McNary High School, and she is there accepting the proclamation for Pride Month here in Kaiser. She has been a fantastic representative of the youth voice, the LGBTQ community, and a very, very active member of the community to get things done. It's been an absolute pleasure working with her, and she's going to continue to do great things in her college career. So with that, that's part of the update for the city of Kaiser. We did pass our budget, and we're all good to go there. Thank you to the 14 people who put in a tremendous amount of work, and our staff that worked so hard to bring a well-constructed budget and budget process for the people of Kaiser. If you want to see the budget hearings, they're all on kaisertv.com, and the budget itself, of course, is posted on our website. We will continue to monitor how our funds are being expended through the year, and that is the job of our city manager, Adam Brown, our finance director, Tim Wood, and the entire Kaiser staff that safeguards and uses every single dollar entrusted to them for the people of Kaiser. So that's a bit of an update from the city. It is now my pleasure to introduce Angela Flowhead from the Marion Soil and Water Conservation District. Thank you so much for joining us today, Angela. This is a government most people don't know very much about. So if you would let people know what it's about, and I do have a slide about how to get involved. So after you give a brief introduction, I'll pop that up there. Welcome, Angela. Oh, unmute.
There we go. Thanks for having me on, Cathy. This is a board that a lot of people, like you said, really don't know much about what we do or how we function, even though they vote for it every 2 years. So a little bit of history about the water, soil, and conservation districts. They were born out of the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, and which began with a 6-year drought that was aggravated by agricultural practices that did not prevent wind erosion and the destruction of the natural topsoil. So it was very destructive to our nation and to food production. And so Congress in 1935 established the Soil Conservation Service. Not long after that, Oregon created the Soil Conservation Committee, which is now called the Soil and Water Conservation Commission. And our first soil conservation district was actually in South Tillamook. Marion County, not long after that, had actually 3 conservation districts. Those were in Staten, Silverton, and Mount Angel. But those were developed between 1947 and 1953. But then in the 70s, early 70s, Marion County decided to do a consolidated district for our entire county. So we've been around for quite a long time. There was a vote by the Marion County voters in 2000 that allowed us to have a permanent property tax. And so that really helped to expand our services by increasing our staffing and allowing us to offer a lot of programs. So even though a lot of people in Marion County that are adults don't know about us, a lot of children do, because we do a lot of services with a number of schools in the area where we educate children. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. The district is pretty big. We operate in almost all of Marion County. On the south, we're bordered by the North Santiam and Santiam rivers. On the west and the north, we're bordering the Willamette River. On the east, we have the Pudding River and Butte Creek. So it's a pretty large area. It is governed by an independent board of directors. There are 7 director positions. And our mission is to partner with the people of Marion County to develop thriving lands, clean water, and healthy habitats. And we do that through our planning services, through technical assistance, and through education. So we provide free public services to all Marion County residents. So it does not matter if you're rural or urban. We have programs for both. The conservation planners and specialists, which are our staff, work with landowners, residents, natural resources organizations. So like Trashy Tuesday, great place for our water and soil conservation district to be there. Natural resource users, we work with local, state, and federal governments on conserving natural resources, controlling and preventing soil erosion, conserving and developing water resources, maintaining water quality, preserving wildlife. We have areas that we help to preserve and do to beautify for people to utilize. There are a lot of conservation efforts that we're involved with throughout the county.
The district up on the screen, the website, so people can see it. And what you've been talking about are all of these tabs that are available for all of us. You and the board and the staff And it's a bigger staff than I thought. I thought, how big is this? It's big.
Yeah, we have several staff. I want to say that there are around 9 altogether. And that website is www.marionswcd.net. And so a few things that you'll find there are some of the things that we do. And so some of what we do is, like I said, it's all free. Everything we do is free because our taxpayers have already paid for it. So we don't charge for any of these services, but we will work one-on-one with people to go out to their site and help them do planning projects. So if you're wanting to add in irrigation in your if it's your front yard, or if you have a farm, a small farm or a large farm, and you want some conservation assistance, then we're happy to come out and help you do that. And so our staff will come out, they'll do a one-on-one site plan with you, and then help you plan your projects. We have a number of grants that we offer. And so our staff can also help you figure out which grant might be appropriate for your project and then help you apply for it. So right now we have a number of grants. We have people that are in urban areas where neighbors are consolidating and wanting to work together. And then we have projects where maybe it's an agricultural area and it's a farm or some sort of land worker that is actually utilizing their land for their business. And so we're helping everyone across the board. And so really what we're there to do is to help people to um, keep our waterways healthy, the fish that are using those waterways healthy, the banks are stable and supported, that we don't have water erosion or I'm sorry, soil erosion that is endangering our salmon. And so that leads to some of the things we do, like Salmon Watch. So we have a program where we provide grants to schools to allow them to bring their students out to the waterways, and we show them the soil and the salmon and talk with them and educate them about all of those things.
I've been showing our audience, as you've been describing the tremendous work of the Soil and Water Conservation District on this website. It is an absolute gold mine of information. And you, the board members, and the volunteers and staff have tremendous resources right at our fingertips. And I bet that most people don't know that it is out there. But you know what? Through Coffee with Cathy, we're going to help get the word out. And we're going to be able to partner up and find ways to live out. This is something that people in Kaiser love to do. And I think as more people find out and know that it's here, it's going to grow even more.
Well, and some of the ways that they can find us are by going to their local farmers market. And so they will see us there. They can ask us about their various programs. We also have 2 native plant sales every year, and that's really to help people access some of those natural plants that are going to help with getting rid of some of those invasive species. We also have on our website a native plant database. So if they're wanting to know what plants they want to plant in their garden, we also have a newsletter that people can sign up for. It's very active. We have a blog as well, so they can get a lot of information about how to help in their local area, even in their own yard.
Mm-hmm. So what got you interested? And I'm going to post I'm going to pop over here to the slide from your Facebook about getting involved. How did you get involved, and how would you encourage other people to get involved?
Yeah, so when I started getting involved in politics, I was just very aware of how our agricultural community is contributing to Oregon and to our economy, but also to our food production. And I was watching a lot of policies come through that were impacting the local food production in our area. So I wanted to learn more about that. So I started going to the board meetings. And so anyone's welcome to come. They're open public meetings. We do have a Zoom. You can find that on our website, on our calendar, and you can join us there. We have board meetings every month, and those are usually on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 9:30. And sorry, I don't have my calendar up. I could tell you which Wednesday it is. Um, and so our next meeting is July 10th. And so you're welcome to join us there, and you can get that link on our website. Um, and then soon after that, I became an associate. I was voted in by the board as an associate director. And so we do have associate director positions available. We also have board positions that are available. So it's a 7-member board, like I mentioned earlier. This year, there will be an election in November where there are 4 board positions that are up for election. And those are in different zones. So people can apply to become and run for a board position. Or they can just come to our meetings, they can contribute that way. And then if they want to, they can become an associate. And so there are a lot of ways to get involved. We have volunteers that help with things like Salmon Watch and some of our other programs.
So I'm really excited to learn about our Marion Soil and Water Conservation District. And when I post this onto Facebook, I will put in the comments how to get a hold of Angela and the district itself and the link to the website. Angela, thank you so much for coming on the program today. And we hope that you will be a regular here and keep us up to date on the many activities for our habitat and our urban and our rural environment that we treasure so much. We really appreciate your work.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's now a pleasure to go to Ramiro Navarro from our Chariots board. You've been busy. We've missed you. We're so glad to have you on today. Chariots has a big announcement, Route 22.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor Clark, for asking me to join today. I'm always excited to share what Chariots has going on and just share what else is going on in the community. Route 22 did launch May 5th. It began operating we began operating our new Keebler Link bus route connecting South Lancaster Drive and South Commercial Street. Total ridership between May 5th and May 25th has been 721 people. Of note, sorry, I gotta close the door here to the office. Sochi. And so that's what happens when you take meetings from the childcare. So we have so Fridays have generally been 15 to 29% higher ridership compared to other weekdays. So we have employees that are doing some interviews right now to determine why is that, and just to get a better idea of how we can continue to improve service in that south part of Salem. Let's see. So in other news, we are having a call for artists to celebrate Hispanic and Latin Heritage Month. In the past, we have a community advisory committee that has come up with these really cool, unique designs that we are wrapping on our buses. But now we've switched over to really make it something that the community can participate in a little more. So now we are having local artists participate and contribute to the wraps that we'll be putting on these buses. So I believe we're partnering with the Salem Keizer School District. We're partnering with other community-based organizations to come up with a wrap that celebrates the cultures and contributions of individuals whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central, and South America. Submissions are due by July 12th, and you can find more information on our website at chariots.org/call for art. Yeah, and then let's see, what else do we have on here? So Chariots has received high marks in our community values survey. We received outstanding results and from our independently conducted community value survey. The organization that conducted the survey is a national organization, so they have quite a bit of experience, and they were really excited about our findings. They said that 90% of those who were surveyed said that they know that Chariots is a public transit provider in the Salem region, so they know who we are. 83% agree that Chariots contributes to the success of the community. 75% understand that the services that Chariots provide. And 49% say that Chariots is valuable to them personally. So it's really exciting to see that we have these really high marks, and we're doing everything we can to be able to support the community, to reduce congestion, because of traffic, and just contribute to a better life experience for folks here in the Salem Area Mass Transit District. So we have our local, regional, and paratransit services have also gotten high remarks from Chariot's providers. They say that 83% of riders feel safe while traveling on Chariot's buses. 77% say buses are clean and well maintained. 92% say that Chariots provides a valuable transportation service. I'm laughing because we get really good marks for being clean buses, and what I've noticed lately is we're very packed buses. So it used to be where I could kind of enjoy my seat, right to myself. And now it's like we're constantly working together on the bus to figure out how do we maneuver back and forth to make sure that we can get as many people on as possible. And so it really is teamwork while riding, and so I appreciate that. Um, and so when it comes to our service levels, we have holiday service on Wednesday, July 19th, which is a federal holiday, Juneteenth. We will be operating at our Sunday service level. Chariot's regional service will not be operating. Our Cherry List service will be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The dial-a-ride is not going to be operating. And our customer service hours will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then coming soon is going to be our Immigrant Heritage Month. So as soon as we move from our Hispanic Heritage Month wrap to the Immigrant Heritage Month, we'll be putting out a call for artists to be able to contribute to that as well. And so yeah, that's so taking off my Chariots hat and putting on my other, one of my many other hats. The Southeast Kaiser Community Center is still going strong. We're having our Friday dinners. We recently established a partnership with some volunteers in the community who have been bringing us food. So the lunches and the meals have gotten a little bit better out there, which is super awesome. And then, we, as you'll see behind me, I got a bookcase full of childcare books because we were opening a childcare here in Salem that's going to be providing 24-hour service. We're hoping to partner with Chemeketa to make sure that those teachers that we're training here can get certified, and it'd be awesome to partner with the Salem Kaiser School District as well to be able to get some of those youth that are looking for those summer on-the-job training, experiences to volunteer here and earn some education here and credits. But unfortunately, because of that, we have a work party today that starts in about 15 minutes. And so I have to head out early and make sure that the volunteers are all taken care of. But as always, I appreciate being here and sharing kind of what's going on in the community.
Thank you so much, Ramiro. Thank you for your work on Chariots. Just seeing how things have continued to grow. These surveys really tell a lot about the story of how we are embracing and using our system now that it's complete. When it was 5-day a week, it just was not a complete option. 7-day a week, and everybody keeps asking for more hours, which I think really tells the tale that people want to have this as a very viable and reliable option. I loved using Chariots when I was working for the state. It was just easy, hop on, get downtown, didn't have to look for parking. It just made my life ever so much easier as a state employee.
Yeah.
Excited for the Southeast Kaiser growth there, and looking forward to visiting in the future very soon.
And
Yes.
I should plug that the UMO app is what we're utilizing now to support people in navigating the transit service. But you're right, it's gotten a lot more convenient. So there will be times that I'm, working at the house, working from home, and wondering like, can I make it to this meeting downtown, or can I take the bus? Can I drive? Should I, do it work from home? And I pull out that UMO app and look up when's the next bus coming, and it'll tell me, hey, you got 10, 15 minutes to get there. And luckily I live close enough to a stop that I can just kind of grab my bag and go and make that route. So it's going to be awesome. We're doing upgrades to that constantly. In September, we'll have in real time tracking of where the buses are. So it doesn't just tell you what time it's supposed to be there. It'll tell you if it's, running hot, where it's been, it's going a little bit faster than expected, or if it's behind. And so you can really make certain that you're going to catch a bus.
That is fabulous. Putting power into the hands of the riders is huge. And I remember when you guys were working on developing this, you got the information from other transit districts around the nation. And this was super important for increasing ridership and responsiveness.
Yeah.
Super excited to see this continue to develop. And one more plug before I go to Christy Hudson on the school board is the partnership with the schools and for our students. The Youth Zero Fare service continues to be a huge success. We have our students just jump on, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's really awesome. It's amazing to me to see, I remember when this first started, we first started the Youth Zero program. I had gone to my son's football game out in West, and he had a friend that was kind of sitting on the bench that was sad, and he was talking about how he couldn't get a hold of anybody to come pick him up. And I was like, you can ride the bus for free now, right? And his eyes just lit up, and he was like, oh man, I can make it home. And so it was really awesome to be able to see that. And that was years ago. I know that ridership has skyrocketed when it's come to the youth. I know that it's really been awesome. But it really takes, working together as a community with the school district, with the transit district, with other, community-based organizations to provide those services that these youth are needing. Because with these cuts coming within the school district, we know that we need to figure out how to give youth the services that they need.
Well, it's all about partnerships, and this is just one of those really critical things for our students and their families is transportation. Chrissy, it is an absolute delight to have you on the program today. We know that you have been working very, very hard with the board, the superintendent, the staff to navigate some very, very challenging times. We know your work is continuing. I want to express for all of us our appreciation for the work you are doing on behalf of the people of Kaiser to serve our students and do it in a very responsible and responsive way. Thanks for joining us on the program today, Chrissy.
Thank you so much. That was a very honorable and warm welcome, and I feel very honored to have had you said that and have me on your show and give me a platform to speak, and always having that open invite. I'm don't have quite as much probably to share. I'll probably keep it fairly simple, but to kind of piggyback the chariots, you're right. Yeah, the largest contract that the Salem Kaiser School District has outside is chariots, $150,000 a year, and the lowest is it's either 13,000 or 18,000, and that's for the grant for the Safe Way to Schools for the children to be able to walk to schools and that program and to ride their bikes. So yeah, that's a really big deal that Salem Kaiser has apparently, they just passed in the budget again to continue on with the Chariots grant as numbers have picked up. I did notice the RAPs. I'm sorry, I thought you guys were low on funding too. So it's wonderful to hear all the details about how you're doing over there at Chariots and continuing to serve the community as a whole. It's good if lots of kiddos are learning, like you said, that they do now have that free pass in our area and are able to get around easier than we could, right? When we were kids, I remember having a job at a young age and getting to school and the programs, and we made it work. And now hopefully life is a little easier for them. So we did just pass the budget as well. Our board did this last week, and it has been a far from easy thing. It's very sad. It's hard for me not to get emotional every time, because I just want to love and hug every staff member and just put that love over all of our schools, because we understand that that's a community thing and a trickle effect that does affect everyone. And is I didn't end up voting yes on the pass. I do believe and understand that it's needed. I do believe what I mentioned in the meeting, that if we didn't have these drastic cuts, that we would keep going downhill and really be in some of the predicaments that some of the other districts are in. And I mean, essentially, if we didn't have a school for our kiddos to go, I mean, that's a heart of our community. And so that wouldn't be good. But I did feel that there was a little more that could be cut that was still a mystery. There was about $1.5 million in our equity department that I'm not sure yet where all of that goes. But I was calculating the teachers at full time, and I thought that's a whole school right there. So anyway, so there's different little things that I just, I don't know, maybe there wasn't enough time to comb through to continue to balance that. But as I understand, they'll continue to kind of grow and look at things, and we'll see who we have next year as people continue to decide to leave on their own. And but they are trying their best. They are very diligent workers at the district. Honestly, they work very, very hard. I've witnessed that myself. Bargaining, I sat 14 hours in a room with them and watched them master their work and stay focused on the end goal. And the reason why they had chosen those cuts early on is truly an effort to give the families more time to decide if they want to and need to move and relocate, or what they've got going on. Because unfortunately, as many of us could see over the last handful of years, that it was a spot we were going to reach eventually. And that would just break my heart. I don't even know how, but even more if someone found out that, hey, by the way, on Friday, so I understand they often share, tomorrow, you won't have a job. And so I think that's definitely another higher dishonor to our teachers and our staff that work so hard and have such a heart. And what I'm grateful for as a parent, to love on our kids every day and teach them the most they can and be the best. So I hope that eventually as a community we can soon, but start to pick up the pieces and boost morale as a whole and get that heart kind of pieced back together. So the Salem-Keizer School District does have a lot of summer programs. It's on the Salkeiz, so salkeiz.k12.or.us website, and you can just enter summer programs, but I can tell you the whole link if you wanted, but there are summer details there. And so there's Jumpstart Kindergarten program they have now. There's a Black and Brilliant Native Education program, a Migrant Education Summer, Unified Summer programs, which I think truly they're struggling to recruit volunteers for the other kids in the district for that program. As I understand, any of you parents probably continue to receive those parent view alerts and such. So I know it's so sweet. I love walking in Kaiser art room and at the library building, but across and seeing the Unified Kiddos art and the different areas in the community that they're supported. And so it's nice to raise up the rest of our youth to help support them, I think. But registration is open for anyone that newcomers to the district for the elementary, middle, and high. Don't forget about CTEC, because I don't know up to date how many CTEC programs are not full yet for next year. But that's, excuse me, law, psychology, beauty, automotive, and then aviation, definitely. And there's so much with that they do. Also, by the way, with aviation, they also have drones and such. And then there's another one that didn't fill up last year, and I thought, wow, we need to spread the word on this one, because it is going along with our agriculture, teaching the children. It was so fascinating. And you've been there, I think, Cathy, too, and probably saw that area, and whomever else has been lucky enough, growing plants from nearly nothing. And flesh and tissue, they call it, a piece of another plant, and without soil, just in pods from the wall, and all these creative ways to grow that. And I think that's definitely something that we should be focusing on right about now. And so if we can gain an interest in our kiddos in our area to know that that exists, and really anyone can apply. Actually, they can be homeschoolers, they can be from other areas and districts to fill those positions. That's one of the awesome beauties with CTEC. And then, of course, within each high school, they have their different programs as well, if you're enrolled in the district and such, and have a transfer to attend those. There's a couple more summer programs offered for the kiddos in the Salkai district, summer enrichment for the Title I elementary school. And it lists the elementaries that are participating in that, middle school transition, and high school. I actually am hoping to continue to grow in our Kaiser community and have a couple of ideas to kind of focus on different things for our young adults and high school area. I think that anyway, so I look forward to start conversations with some of our local leaders for that, as far as building entrepreneurial thoughts and just growing our kiddos. And now more than ever, I think they need confidence, and they need places where they can do hands-on stuff that they're proud of. And I think helping them explore their minds and the amazing ideas and thoughts that they have, that they can contribute to our community and in the world as they decide to go out after graduating from our little hub here. So anyway, I guess I said I would try to keep it short, and I think I've talked long. So thank you all so very much, and bless you again. Thank
Well,
you.
bless you. I want to do a couple of things really quick. I'm on the website, and there's just so much to celebrate in our schools as well. Yes, you are doing the heavy lifting for so much of keeping our district moving forward. You, the board, the staff, the administration, all working toward educating our students. Really want to highlight a couple of things here. The McKay High School team, that their music program that placed nationally. The McNary High School Culinary Arts program that took a 6th in the nation in competition. These are just a couple of examples of the excellence we have. You mentioned the CTEC aviation program. It was fully subscribed right out of the gate. And you're right, CTEC and all of our CTE programs, what a tremendous investment that the board and the staff has made into the future for our students. It's been absolutely pioneering in how to work past the barriers, the regulatory barriers, and get to yes for these great programs. So I want to really direct people to this website, explore it. There is a wealth of information for families, for students and community members and businesses that would like to know more and get involved with mentorship programs, mock interviews, and so much that's happening where we can get involved. I want to say thank you for being invited to speak to all the AVID classes this year at Claggett Creek Middle School. It was so much fun to visit with the students. I got great questions from them, from the teachers, and I'm hoping to be able to go back next year and do the same. And I also want to give one more shout out, and that is to Clear Lake Elementary School. Taryn McDougall was our winner in the If I Were Mayor poster contest. I will find that visual and I'll put it up onto my Facebook again. The teachers at Clear Lake did the competition. We got fantastic entries, and she did a wonderful poster about what it takes to be the mayor of her own city. She learned a lot in the process, and I found it very inspirational. So thank you to the teachers. It took time for that. At McNary High School, we got entries for the video portion from Mrs. Reed's class. And again, great thought that went into that. Chrissy, you and the board need to be encouraged, because what you're doing matters, because the students and what they are getting from this matters. So hang in there. We're pulling with you, and looking to continue to partner. Everybody you see on the screen here, we're all partnering together to take care of the students and the families in our community.
Thank you for all of your love and your hours that all of you invest, these volunteer hours, for genuinely the love of our community and our littles. So thank you all.
Thank you. Diane, let's talk about Chemeketa, because you guys have continued to build bridges and partnerships with K-12, and boy, you don't stop there. You just keep going. You're on mute.
Yes, just about everything we do, we reach out for partnerships to leverage dollars and create the most we can for the community and for our students. But today I was going to talk about the fact that Chemeketa is certainly on board with sustainability and the environment. I want to talk a little bit about our newest building project, and then look at what we're doing right now, some of the other projects and our future sustainability. This is our Egg Hub. It's our newest building. It's at the southeast corner of our campus across from 45th. And it is constructed as a net zero energy building. We achieved this by adding extra solar panels through an Energy Trust grant from what we originally planned. Let's go to slide 2, Cathy. Okay, that's the plot there, because you can see there's lots of growing areas outside, and the building is facing the direction there, and then outside there is an area that's kind of a plot of land there that it can be a meeting place. And we put trees along the edge, so it looks kind of like a farm, because you go to a farm, you have trees, and then there's beautiful flowers around. It's a very lovely place. All the gardens are connected to the curriculum and represent different types of growing environments, as well as plants needed for FFA state contests. So another partnership that we have, and this includes organic gardening. We implemented 1 PM integrated pest management best growing practices to decrease the pesticides and fertilizers that we have to use in growing plants. And we have started transitioning our equipment to a more sustainable practice as well. We recently got a PGE Drive Change Fund grant to sponsor and create a co-op electric tractor program. Farmers can try it out, an electric tractor free of charge for several days. So another partnership that Chemeketa has built into this. And even our outdoor swell is water-based lab that we use to educate around water runoff and retention best practices. Every ounce of this is used for some purpose. Let's go to slide 3. It's interesting, the building. You've got a tour. It is fantastic. Everything is locally Oregon-based that is built in this building. The wood is locally sourced. There's some mass plywood panels are from Ferris lumber in the canyon, and the cross-laminated timber beams, which you need to see because they're huge, are from Roseburg Forest Products. The brick is from the Oregon Quarry just outside of Portland. And the rooms inside can be adjustable. They have multi-purpose, so you can, they have those sliding walls, so you can have big areas or small areas in it. I was really impressed of the foresight, because the lab that they have there for soils, they have also multi-purpose it so it can be used as an extra science lab if needed. So they had the foresight of using things for two different things. And then there are sliding walls that well, actually it's a door that lifts up and goes out into the patio. And so that we can take several rooms, put them together, and make that for conferences or whatever we need to have, or student activities, hold events there. And then let's go to slide 4. Outside, we have a Chemeketa Market, part of the Salem Market Association on Wednesdays, and other partnerships. And our students sell their produce and nursery plants. And then, of course, we have other vendors there. And then we also use some of our food to help the Salem Northeast food area, and also help the residents have healthier food. We also partner with the food bank. So it's a state-of-the-art facility for agriculture and products and growing and sustainability. It's one of our examples. Some other projects that we have, let's go to the current projects that we're doing right now, is replacing the concrete between buildings 3 and 22 to improve ADA accessibility and drainage. We're constantly taking some small projects. I just wanted to show you that we're constantly working on conservation and sustainability. We're the seismic retrofit of building 14, which is our fire station, and we're removing the brick exterior and place it with metal siding for enhanced seismic safety, and strengthening the interior walls to protect occupants. Then at all locations, we're working on replacing light bulbs. They replace exterior lighting with energy efficient LED alternatives, so we're budgeting for that and going through this project. And that's to reduce energy consumption and meet the new Oregon lighting standards. And then something we're looking at doing in the future is the college has applied for a grant to construct a battery storage system to enhance energy resilience, reduce reliance on non-renewable energy sources, and expand solar energy generation to increase our use of clean power. So these are some of the things that Chemeketa is doing to increase the sustainability, cut costs, make the campus safer, and fit right in with our energy consumption and lower that and create a more sustainable environment.
So if anybody thinks that things get quiet on the campus in the summer, you're wrong.
No, that's where we do a lot of the projects happen during the summer. And we continue to try to make things better and more sustainable. And, I think that Egg Hub is just the initiative for any future things, is to see what we can get. And again, it's through partnerships, grants, and making those dollars go as far as they can. And we love to partner with Salem Keizer too. We have a lot of programs there. And it's kind of a continuum. Salem Keizer works with them. And then if they want to go on with their education and their professional technical training, Chemeketa is right there to transition. And many times they receive credit for what they're doing in high school and can take that credit and get started on their associate's degree. So I love those partnerships. And Chrissy, thank you for all you do, because I know this has been a really tough year, and we need your leadership.
You're very, very honestly kind. I feel not worthy of all of you folks' praise today. I understood going in that we're looking into this, but I appreciate you. That's amazing. You're right. And I love that you're spreading the word to that, because still there's so many kiddos that don't know about that. I'm like, hey, you can get college credit, and they're learning sometimes at stage there. So they need to hear it from every place they can. So yeah, we can be all hands on deck and grow these kiddos. So thank you.
And with the Oregon Promise, I mean, if you get, I think it is a 2-point now, they can go to Chemeketa and the tuition is free.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Or the
mean,
two.
it's a kind of a no-brainer. Let's go, you know, and a
Yeah.
lot of our students work and we have all kinds of creative programs. They don't have to go full-time if they need to work, but they're in school. So we'd love to have them.
Luckily, they have a lot of good staff too in the district that are really getting them focused on that, because there's a window of opportunity also to apply for that grant. And so I want to see kiddos miss that. So yes, thank you.
And even students with GEDs can get that grant. So we want to see everybody do whatever they can to maximize their abilities and their earning abilities and contribution to our community.
Thank you for all you do.
Well, thank you so much. And we continue to hear about opportunities growing in our community because of partnerships, everybody working together. Betty, you are always and everywhere between your work at the Kaiser Fire District and so much more. I've teed up a couple of slides for you. There's a lot of good things happening there too.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, I am so pleased to be able to continue to work with the Kaiser Fire District and the direction they're going and how positive attitudes are and everything. So I think that's just great. I had the distinct pleasure or honor or whatever to watch Kaiser Fire in action across the street from my duplex. There was a fire yesterday in a garage at a neighboring complex, and my neighbor could see it from her kitchen window. So I went next door and and watched them in action. It was pretty interesting, to say the least. And I was, don't tell anybody, I was still in my nightgown.
Just between us.
Yes, right. So anyway, but there are lots of things going on. So at 11 o'clock this morning, there'll be swearing in ceremony for some new personnel. We have a number, I think, of new volunteer firefighters. And our the fire district and our equipment and personnel will be down at Kaiser Rapids Park on the 18th for Public Works Day. So that will be a lot of fun. And on Tuesday night, it's going to be a busy day, Tuesday. The fire board has our monthly meeting. Gosh, it coincides with the Trashy Tuesday, because our meetings are on the third Tuesday at 5:30. Golly gee whiz. Yeah, I have to admit, I don't feel too bad about not being able to help with the Trashy Tuesday.
I got you covered. I'll be out there.
Great. Anyway, and we'll be adopting our budget at that time. So for the new fiscal year. And because we were able to pass a levy last year, we're in pretty good situation right now, and able to add some staff over the next couple of years, which is great because our the number of calls we get on a daily basis continues to go up, and demand for service. Of course, the big thing are the medical calls. Probably 80% of our calls, or maybe not quite that many, but pretty close, are medical calls. And as population is aging, you can well imagine that's not going to go down anytime soon. We finally, I'm so excited that we have a new name for our Kaiser Fire District website. We are now a .gov, and so we are kaiserfire.gov, which is pretty pleasing because I understand that there's more security in a .gov website than either a .com or a .org, and I hope that's true. But if you have email addresses for somebody at kaiserfire.com, those will continue to be delivered to our staff, and I have one of those too. So that's really great. Thank you. That's good. I had to look myself because I had learned that that was a good thing, and it was no small task, I guess, to get that designation. We're hiring new staff, and so applications are currently being accepted, as you can see in the scrolling there, for people to start at the beginning of the year here pretty quickly, at the beginning of the fiscal year. The Kaiser Fire and Marion County Fire are co-hosting the Oregon Volunteer Firefighters Association Conference next week. And most of the activities will take place at the Brooks training session. So this is a great opportunity for the volunteer firefighters in our area in particular to be able to learn some new skills and continue to increase their ability to be involved in firefighting. And we need those volunteers, even though we have a lot of career staff. The volunteers really help supplement that. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
My cat just decided to climb onto my computer. And I want to give a couple of reminders out there, safety reminders. School is out, so please be careful when you're driving, as there be more children around, wandering around and on their bikes and on their skateboards. So it's important to be careful. And then, of course, the weather is warming up, hopefully. And so it's important to stay hydrated and remember to wear your helmet when you're doing wheeled activities such as riding a bike or skateboard. Anyway, so those are just some tips to remind people about safety. So
I want to give a quick little shout out to and I'll show you this picture. Kaiser Fire buses some kids to school. That looks like a fun little something that happened. See if I can get that on there. There it is.
Good.
There you go.
Yes. Yes, that's pretty a lot of fun. I have had the opportunity to ride in the fire truck a few times. I missed the parade this year, but usually at least in the parade, and it's a lot of fun to ride in the truck. And I know I one time brought my sister along with me to ride. It's the first time she had ever ridden in a fire truck. So it's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. And for these kids to have that chance is really special.
So I have a bunch of slides for the library. Do you want to switch hats?
Yes, I'd love to talk about the library. There are a lot of things coming up this month. The summer reading program starts on Monday, and children can stop by the library and sign up. We encourage students, elementary students, to read about 15 minutes a day at least, and older students are encouraged to read 30 minutes a day. And there are prizes available for students who complete the program. And then our big program, I think, during the summer is the Beyond Books program on Wednesdays. Activities start at 3 o'clock. And the first one is crafting at the library. So they'll have a chance to kick off the reading program by weaving their own bookmark for free. We do ask that people who are interested in attending Beyond Books and other activities like that come in the library and get a ticket for the event. We have become popular enough that space is an issue for some of our activities. And then, of course, for things like this where supplies are needed, that we have enough supplies for everybody. So tickets for events are available about 2 weeks before the event itself. So when you're in the library, stop by and pick up a ticket for the upcoming events. And all of the events that are being planned are available on the website. I mean, and as Cathy showed, there's the calendar, but there's always also the list that people can see. And these will go through most of August. So that's a really fun time for everybody to have. So there's the Dragon Puppet Theater on the 26th. Most of the events will be on the patio behind the Kaiser Cultural Center. There are a few that we have booked at City Hall, so there's a lot more space there for people to attend. So get your tickets ahead of time, and so that you don't miss out.
Well, the city's council was very happy to waive fees for use of our civic center for the library activities. So anytime that is going to be a hot day and the patio just isn't a great space for that, the activities will be moved seamlessly inside to the civic center, so those programs can continue uninterrupted. It was a great partnership opportunity, and we were more than happy to do that.
Yes, and I want to say thank you very much, Mayor Clark. That is a really great time. There were a few times last year, the year before, when it did get really hot, and we were actually able to continue, and people actually were particularly thankful, I think, for the opportunity, because there are, of course, lots of people without air conditioning at home. So having the opportunity to be at the Civic Center for even a few hours in the afternoon when it's pretty warm out there is a great privilege, I think, and we appreciate that. Yes, we continue to have preschool story time on Wednesdays at 10:30, and on Tuesdays at 6:30 we have reading in Spanish for the whole family. And speaking of which, the library received a grant from Grand Ron to hire a bilingual outreach coordinator. Her name is Maribel Monroy Rodriguez, and she's already started. She's working about 10 hours a week and reaching out to the Latino community to tell them about the library and encourage them to use our resources. And we're continuing to add more reading materials in Spanish, and including providing the same stories in both English and Spanish, which a lot of people appreciate the opportunity to do that. And as you know, it's not unusual for parents of children. The children speak English. Sometimes the English is a very limited language for a parent work they do. And so that's a kind of helpful thing to do. So we appreciate the opportunity to make a greater effort to reach out into this community and help them, encourage them to use the library. One of the things I learned recently, which is pretty amazing and affects a lot of children in our community, is that children who are not read to by their parents when they're preschoolers are already behind when they start school. So that is so important, and why we like to have them come at least to the library to have a little reading time if they can, and of course to encourage parents to check out books and read to their children if they can, and get them that extra step up so that they aren't too far behind their peers when they go to school. one last thing, we are going to be hiring a new library manager. Jesse, who has been with us for about a year, is leaving later this month. And so the job description should be on our website soon. This is a part-time job for about 24 hours a week. And Mayor Clark, I want to say thank you to the city council for agreeing to go include in your budget from ARPA $30,000 and matching funds for the library for this next year, because that will help us keep going until we have a more solid source of income. And it's the story about the Kaiser Community Library is pretty amazing. And the people who started it, so many years ago now, I think in the late 80s, they really stepped up. And the last couple of years or so, we have increased interest and activity at the library, a lot more patrons coming every month. And so we're pretty excited about the summertime because it tends to be higher involvement than in the winter and in early spring. And yet our statistics have been very positive so far this year, and we look forward to that continuing. So we appreciate the opportunity to provide this important service in our community.
It's been a great partnership, and the innovation, the grant writing, and the programming that is coming clearly is paying off with our students and families, and we're looking forward to multiplying that across the area. I also want to give a great big shout out to everybody who donated to and then came and bought from the Kaiser Community Library book sale. I
Yes.
understand that the Friday of that event was the biggest day of sales in the library's history. And that
Yes.
only happens because people donate and because people come and purchase these books. A few of them made their way to my house.
Yeah. Yes. Great. You know, it's a bargain because the paperbacks are 50 cents and hardbacks are $1. And when I was there on that Friday, I found a book that was about, I think I can't remember now who they are, but the family that started the business actually lived at one time in the same community that my mother grew up in. And they must have been there close to the same time because of the ages of the people who were. So I was sort of found that really interesting and had to pay a whole $1 for that book so that I could look it over. We had a few rare books as well, and those yes, this was the biggest sale that we have ever had. Of course, I think we had more books than we've had in the past too. But, you know, when people donate their books to the library, someone goes through the books and decides if there are ones that we should keep in the library that are likely to be popular and want to be checked out, and then others are put into the sale. People can also request a book. If you go to our website, there's a place you can say, you know, here's a book I'd like to read, and put that in there. If we don't have it, we can put it on our wish list. So we have a wish list at Amazon.com for which people could buy books for us if they are willing to do so when they're shopping on Amazon. So that has really done very well in terms of getting some popular, you know, more current books available to our patrons, and we're pleased to do that because we really don't have much money in our budget to purchase books with, and it's important that we stay current, if we can, as current as we can, with the popular reading materials. So yeah,
That's great to know, and need to pop that up on the website, on your Facebook once in a while. Go go to our wish list, go to our wish list. So that would be a good thing to add.
Yeah.
Betty, thank you so much for what's happening at our library, for folks in our community. Also in the cultural center, I want to pop it here really fast to start wrapping up for today. We have a new show that opened last night at the Kaiser Homegrown Theater, right there in the same building, the cultural center, as our library. It's called The Lifespan of a Fact, and it is a comedy. Hope you get a chance to come see it this weekend, next weekend, or the final weekend in June. And you can also buy season tickets. Kaiser Homegrown Theater, truly homegrown, great quality shows. You can do dinner and theater right here in Kaiser and enjoy our community and have a wonderful evening with family and friends. We're going with some friends. We go to almost every show together. We do dinner and theater. So Lifespan of a Fact opened last night. Get your tickets online at Kaiser Homegrown Theater. Also coming up is the Kaiser Cultural Center annual celebration will be on Rainmaker Day, July 12th, which is traditionally a day that is does not have rain. So the Kaiser Cultural Center and Heritage Foundation have picked that as their annual celebration date. Also coming up really quick is the next class for the Kaiser Arts Association, which is exploring scratchboard art with Laura Singer. So if you want to do that, go to the website and register. There's a small fee for that, but there are other classes, and of course the wonderful gallery there with the monthly shows that are on display there and at the gallery in the Kaiser Civic Center. Also, I don't have any graphics yet. The Kaiser Summer Concert Series will start on July 20th. Mark your calendars. That will be coming up on the website soon, and you'll be able to go enjoy concerts at the Kaiser Rotary Amphitheater. Angela, you had a couple things to share as we wrap up today.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention earlier that we do have a few really fun activities. So on June 18th, we have our conservation club. So if you want to learn how you can protect the watersheds in your area as a landowner, there's a riparian restoration walk or tour that's happening at our office in Staten. That's 408 North 3rd Avenue in Staten. And then on the 19th, we're entering into firefighting season. And so there is going to be on KMUZ 100.7 and 88.5 FM at 8 a.m. on June 19th, a talk about being wildfire ready. And you can go to our website and get preparedness kits for free. So you just go to our website and order that. And then a really fun one that I'm kind of excited about is that we're going to have a Learn to Kayak on July 17th. And that's going to be at Kaiser Rapid Parks. And so that one does take an RSVP. So we only have 19 spots left for that. So make sure to get on there and reserve your spot to learn. And that's for adult beginners to learn to kayak or canoe.
Fantastic. Well, if anybody's wondering if there's stuff to do in Kaiser this summer, the answer is a great big yes. There's even more to come, which we will feature on the July edition of Coffee with Cathy. It's been a great pleasure today to visit with Ramiro Navarro from the Chariots Board of Directors, Betty Hart from the Kaiser Fire District Board of Directors and the Kaiser Community Library Board, Diane Watson from the Chemeketa Community College Board of Education, Chrissy Hudson from the Salem Kaiser School Board, and Angela Plowhead from the Marion Soil and Water Conservation District. I'm Cathy Clark, the mayor of the city of Kaiser, and we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Coffee with Cathy.